Hey guys, I'm here with Nate in the tackle shop at H&M Landing. We're getting into the fishing season right now. We're targeting bluefin, and all the time people are asking me, what do I need? What gear are you recommending? What do we have to have? What's going on? So today we're going to show you kind of the minimum of what we would suggest on a multi-day tuna trip.
If we're seeing fish in like that 20 to 60 pound range, this is a great setup. You could fish it with 30-pound fluorocarbon, even 25-pound fluorocarbon if you're fishing a really light bite. Fish aren't super big, but you could definitely get some backbone out of this rod and get some cranking power out of it on, say, sinker rig fishing in the daytime. We're catching those fish that are 40 to 60 pounds. You need a little power to turn that handle, so this is a good way to go.
Yeah, and like you're saying, you can go up or down with a little bit of fluorocarbon. You can go 40 to 40, and keep the strength right there. Or if the fish are being pickier, you can put on a little liter of 30-pound fluorocarbon. You can go up a little bit with it, of course, to resist chew, stuff like that.
Definitely.
The other versatility you have when you're talking about your 40-pound bait stick like this would be hook size, and that's another variable that you need to have variety of, I would say. The shop here has a whole bunch of variety, but we were talking about brands like Mustad's generally smaller than Owner, right?
Usually, yeah. Usually your Mustads are going to be a lot smaller than your Owner hooks. If you compare J hooks, they're usually pretty standard, but you compare your circle hooks, you start to get a big difference. So if you lay them all out, a size 2 in an Owner is going to be significantly larger than a size 2 in your Gamakatsu.
Yeah, the size 2 right here on the Gamakatsu, it's a real small hook. And that's something that I like when fish are picky. Like if you're dropping down your line size to 25 or 30-pound test, you should have a size 2 to size 4 small circle hook in there too. Because if you're going to drop down your line, you may as well drop down the hook. But if you're going to have line selection, you need hook selection. So like guys are bringing out a Mustad 3.0 for their sinker rig and a size 2 Owner for the fly line when it's biting a little bit more. You want a little bit of selection.
Definitely. Versatility is always good. With the big mixed grade of fish and mixed styles of fishing we're seeing these days, it's really tough to just get out there with your one pack of hooks and make it all happen. I would say minimum you probably want 2 sizes of hooks, something on the smaller end, your 2 or 4, and something on the bigger end, your 2.0s, 3.0s. You don't necessarily need every size in between, though sometimes they're helpful, but having 2 ends of the spectrum is definitely beneficial.
Yeah, a little bit of selection is always good, especially when other people are getting bit. And they're asking, well, why is he getting bit, not me? It might be as simple as hook size.
Yeah, definitely. Getting into something that's a little bit bigger of a setup, this is pretty much the higher end of gear that we'll rent out here. It's an Avid EX, very large reel, large line capacity, and we put big line on them. We fill them up with 100-pound braid. Usually you're getting 500 to 600 yards on a reel like this. And we'll put a top shot of mono on there as well. Makes it a little easier to tie knots, get out of tangles, a little bit of shock leader, fishing your jigs at night. This is a beast of a setup. This is a great setup for when we're catching big ones. When you're nighttime jigging, those fish are not as picky about line size. You're not finesse fishing them on 40-pound. You can put your heavy sinkers down, put your heavy leaders down, and bring them up to the boat. That's what it takes to catch a big one.
Yeah, it's a big difference maker having the right gear on these night bites especially. I mean, you can see the wrap on here. It's perfect for laying it on the rail so you guys don't kill your backs. It's pretty much a necessity now on these trips, just having a big 2-speed reel and a rail rod. Tell people if they have anywhere from a 300 to a 500 gram, they'll be set. If the boat's drifting slower, we can get away with the 300 gram, and if the fish aren't as deep. But if the boat's drifting fast because it's a little bit windier and we need to get down deep, 500 grams is the way to go. This right here is a 300 gram like knife jig rip roller. You can see the landing has switched out the hooks though. Bigger hooks than the stock hooks, and it's leadered up, and that's something that is really important. You've seen how many fish get lost because of hooks.
Every trip, yeah, you see a snap swivel fail or a knot fail or a leader fail, split rings, hooks. It's the terminal tackle oftentimes gets overlooked, but it's really, really crucial.
Yeah.
I mean, if the only thing standing between you and your trophy fish is a split ring,
right,
that's a small step to take.
You're doing all this trouble, you're getting the right gear, you're getting the right lures. Switching out for the hook and putting a leader on is just a necessity at this point, really.
Yeah. So just to give you guys a quick rundown, we get questions all the time. What's the best color of jig? Does my jig need to glow? Some guys are gung-ho on specific colors or specific jigs. At the end of the day, I don't think it matters all that much. I think the most important factor is having the right size jig something that's going to get down to those fish and stay in the zone where they're at. We've seen guys catch them on lead torpedo sinkers, and we've seen guys catch them on glow
Something
jigs
we'll be
like
talking
these.
about in a later video, that lead torpedo sinker.
Yeah, it's been a killer, actually. A lot of guys are catching fish on those things. This one, for example, is a 500-gram rip roller, very popular jig, no glow on it. No glow on it.
Right, and this is like the Katy Perry color that everybody likes to talk about, that pink and blue. This is a new color that I think they just came out with.
Yeah, both of these are new 2023 colors.
Yeah, but my opinion is the same as Nate's. I don't think color matters. I don't think glow in the dark really matters.
Agreed.
I tell people if you believe it, it matters, right? Because you want to fish with confidence. But what's most important is not breaking your gear and being in the right place at the right time.
We hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. Here's a summary of all the gear we talked about.